You're listening to Who Would Have Thought, a motivational podcast that shares self-improvement strategies that will help you set goals, create action plans, and succeed.
Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of Who Would Have Thought with your host Raman, that's me. On today's episode, we'll be talking about starting in 30 days or less. And what does that mean? It means whether you have a new habit that you want to start, a new project, a new business, a new goal, anything it is that you need to start it in 30 days or less from the time that you come up with this idea in your head. And you might be wondering, why in 30 days or less? If you listen to my podcast about the 5-second rule, we talk about how your brain has 5 seconds before it kind of starts to self-sabotage. It's kind of the same thing when it comes to bigger goals as well that do take longer. Your brain only has a certain amount of time before it starts to get demotivated if you don't take any action, or it starts to become more of a plan than ever leading to an action. So where did I hear about this 30-day or less logic? A very long time ago, I had read this article about starting anything that you want in 30 days or less while you're still really hyped up about the idea and you have all this energy and motivation to start at that point, because you are most likely to get everything that you need to get. Not everything, but most things that you need to get done or can get done in that first 30-day period right away. As mentioned, the longer you wait on something, the more it's just going to stay as an idea in your head because you haven't taken any action for it. So let's just relate this back to, I'm going to use an example of starting a new business. So it could be a small business on the side or a full gig business. So it feels like, yes, there's a lot of planning that's required to start a business. You need a business plan. You need to figure out your resources, income, what are you going to need. And there is a lot of planning involved, but there are a lot of things that you can get done in the first 30 days or less to start establishing your business. So although you might not have the full plan ready yet, you can do a lot of things. You can come up with a business name, you can come up with business cards, and you don't need to wait to be a perfectionist on your business cards or your business names, because you don't need to be ready for everything. It's important to understand that anything can change at any point. My decor business, I had started off with a different name when I initially started, and I had changed that name in 2020. So I had ordered a whole bunch of business cards just before changing the name. That went completely to waste, but it's okay because you can order new business cards. It's fine. Even the business cards, over the years, my business card designs have evolved. You don't keep the same business cards. As your business grows, it will have changes, it will improve, and that is a part of the process. In addition, you can also start your social media account, start building content, start sharing it with friends and family, start getting followers, and just start getting that brand recognition and understanding that, okay, I have a business now. I have a responsibility and I need to be accountable for it. And we all know, once you have your Instagram account and your social media or your website, it really starts to feel official. And although you might not have your product or your service available right away for immediate action, you can start that planning. You can start building your plan, what you're going to do, start searching for resources if you need to, start searching for staffing, start figuring out how much money you're going to need and all that jazz. So there is so much that you can get done in the first 30 days. This was a quote, I think it was from Elon Musk, and he said that if you give yourself 3 months to do something, then it's going to take you 3 months to do that task. But if you give yourself 3 days or 3 weeks, let's say, to do that same task, then you're going to get it done in 3 days. So it really depends on how much time you give yourself. If you're like, okay, I want to start a business, but you know what, I'm really busy right now and I don't have time for it. And I'm going to start next month when I have time to actually focus on it. But what's going to happen is your brain is going to be consumed with all sorts of different ideas and thoughts within that month. You might be focused on something different in that month. You don't know where your life is going to lead the next month. So although it's really easy to say, okay, I'll just do it in a month and I'm going to have the same level of energy that I have now and the same level of excitement. Although I'm not saying that this is completely impossible, I'm sure there are people that are able to start later, but most likely you are not going to have that same level of motivation and excitement. And to be honest, I think if you are not super excited to like open up your computer and kind of like start making notes or doing anything to kind of get started right away, and you are willing to wait a month or 2 months or 3 months to get started, then you do, I feel, really have to evaluate like, is this something I really want to do? Am I really excited for it? And sometimes and most of the times, because I am one of those people as well that have like all sorts of ideas and I always kind of want to do everything, but I usually, if I don't take action on it right away and I'm like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna look into it or do this, and I haven't really done anything in a month or two, I'm like, okay, yeah, you know what, I don't know if I was really into this. So it also like gives you that time to evaluate, but it also can just completely demotivate you and get you out of that excitement and motivated phase to even jump in to see if this was something that was going to work for you. So the moral of the story is that if there is anything that you want to start, I know we used starting a business as an example, but whether it is a new workout class that you really want to start, or if it's a new activity that you want to start, a team that you want to join, a new habit that you want to start, try to start right away. Don't tell yourself that, oh yeah, I'm going to start like next week, in 2 weeks, next month, or in a few months. Most likely you will not. So start right away while you really want to do it and while you're really passionate about it. And I'm sure you'll get it done. And as mentioned, there are several things that you can do right now to get started. It just depends on your action and what you're going to do today. So make the right choices and make sure you're doing something that excites you. Thank you for listening, everyone. And I will see you next week on Who Would Have Thought. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you for tuning in to today's episode. Please follow us on Instagram and YouTube at Who Would Have Thought Podcast. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. If you have any questions, comments, or suggestions, please follow the link in the bio to our anonymous form. See you next time.